if you were walking along Frogmore Road in the 1940s, what would you have seen?
Well, in the 1940s, the first 500 metres there was a bit of asphalt on there, but the rest of Veneto Road, it was just potholes. There was it wasn't sealed at all. And but having little push bikes was great fun at that time. We didn't have to worry about motor cars and trucks being on the road because we had the road to ourselves.
And what about the land? You know, if you were looking from Frogmore Road across...
The land, there would have been box thorns and bamboos on one side, but on the western side of Frogmore Road it would have been sand hills, nearly up to Tabley's Hill Road. It would have been all bushes and sand hills. But on where the guards was, so everybody that had their garden would have kept it clean, reasonably clean. The houses are all made out of timber and iron roofs, and my dad had his made up before Mum arrived from Italy, so that's where they spent more than 10 years in that tin house before we shifted.
Would someone have made that house
yes,
off-site?
Dad got a friend that made it on there. One of the northern Italian, he was a carpenter. Yes, and we were helping. Dad helped. And that's when the Tonelados, one of the boys that got married, lived in there for another, I don't know, 6-7 years in that house that Dad built.
And what was the house like? Can you describe it?
Oh, well, there would have been 2 rooms with a kitchen and a bedroom, and then there was a lean-to, and then we had the front of it, we had a grapevine that had a pergola sort of thing, but out of the grapevine. And then there was bricks on the floor, dirt. For the first few years, it was just dirt.
And your parents' house was very close to Frogmore Road?
Yes.
Right on Frogmore Road?
No, it wasn't right on, but it would have been 100 metres down in the middle of the lane.
And when you went to school, tell us how you went.
Well, the first year there was Destros that had just a timber house near Frogmore Road, and because they were a lot older, she'd accompany me to school, grade 1, for the first year, and that was through from Frogmore Road to Flinders Park Primary School. There was tracks that we used to go.
So that was right over on Holbrook's Road? Right
up to the Holbrook's Road. There was roads, but we'd have shortcuts and go through the shortest way to school.
Through people's properties?
Through people's properties. Well, it didn't look like anybody owned it, but I suppose somebody did own the properties right up to there. And
they were all market gardens all across there?
Most were market gardens, yeah. Then vacant land.
I remember you telling me about your parents' land was that there was a bore and your dad had put the bore in. Is that
yes.
Right?
I'm not sure if Dad put the board, but there was a board in there, and I remember him saying in 1939 they had a heat wave that was 105, 106 for 10, 15 days, and Mum and Dad had to go down the shaft. There was a shaft to keep cool for a few hours during the lunch break, lunch hours. It was that hot. Now there's people that live around there, they reckon there's still a hole around, bore there. Yes, well, there wasn't any houses before, so when they sold blocks of land, parcels of land, they built houses on there, so it started to get more populated, and now it's a suburb, only about 5 kilometres from town. So that's how close the Market Gardens was 60 years ago, when you wouldn't have thought about it. at the time, being so close to the city.
Yeah. And such a big change.
A very big change, yeah, from just barren land and with all these streets and houses now that those people that lived around there wouldn't have thought about.
No. No. Yeah.
The best part of Frogmore Road was growing up in the area and having good friends, and Bruno Pioverson and Frankie Ballastrin and Gita Ballastrin and Guido Rabley. I still keep in contact with them, and so we've been good friends for the last 65, 70 years. And then shifting to White Avenue Lockleys, I worked at the garden there with my father until 1965, until I got married, and shifted to Bolivar, on the Port Wakefield Road, Bolivar, when I got married with Eleonora, and we worked the glass houses for 45 years, and so all my life has been in the market gardening.